fucking car and shit. Now I look over my shoulder. I got, you know how it is. I got a what's his name standing behind me.
He's sneaking up on you.
Yeah. Hold on. That's
jeez.
Okay. He's gonna drive me crazy.
Why?
I'm gonna move him over here.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna move him over here.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
Every time I look up and see myself, I see that dude standing there.
You can put it behind me
I'll
if
put
you
it
want.
back in a minute.
Tom's getting intimidated by evil spot.
I don't want Spot watching.
What are you doing that you don't want him to watch, Tom?
I'm doing a show, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. It's Friday night.
Yeah.
And it's the Sidetracks show. Zach says, guess what, guys? I ran into someone who watches the show on a Resident Evil live stream, of all things. And I told the dude streaming the game, who's kind of popular, about the show. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. That's awesome.
So wait a minute. You told him about the show, but he already knew the show?
No. He's saying the guy that was hosting the show didn't know about the show. But there's somebody else that was in the chat, I'm assuming, watched the show. So
did they know that you were the famous Bathhouse Zachary?
That's what we're going to call it. Bathhouse
The
Zachary.
famous Bathhouse Zachary.
Who does not have cooties.
With the tinkling TT.
Tammy says, no, return Spock. That's what I said.
I'll put it back there in a bit.
You better put him back.
I'm looking up here. I'm seeing
I like
this
him back
beautiful
there.
face. This beautiful face, and then I see you sitting next to me, and then
I knew that was coming.
No.
I know you so well because I was even going to interrupt and go, oh, and then me, your beautiful face, and then
I see this beautiful face,
and then her ugly ass over there.
Fucking Spot watching me. Jenny's got this fucking badass dress on right now. I was getting ready to throw down, man, before the show started.
I was like, the show's starting. You're gonna mess.
We may have to do a little stream on StreamMate after we get paid for this. You guys got to see this.
We can't. We gotta go. We gotta go out.
Yeah, no, show him his dress.
Well,
this shit's sexy, man.
Okay.
Hold on. Make sure you get it all straightened down.
Yeah. See, I think I've worn it.
Back up.
I've worn it before.
Back up.
I've worn it before.
Yeah.
I've had it a while.
Yeah. Look at that
I've had
shit.
it a while.
Yeah.
Now, you fucking my chair all up.
Vavoom.
Zach says, I like the anime girl hair, Jenny. Thank you. I was actually gonna tease my actual hair, like, cause we're going out, like I said, after the show. It's Memento Mori tonight. But then I thought to myself, man, I always like how my hair looks, like, all teased up and everything like that. But then, like, the next day, I'm like, they're trying to comb all the knots out, going, why did I do it?
Yeah.
And I just take, like, big things out. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm just clipping this shit in here. That's how I'm gonna roll. Zach said, I forget who it was. He said he hasn't watched the show in a minute. Okay. Well, you know. Let me see. I approve of the change in decor. Well, that's good. Yeah, we like I said, those curtains and all, and the mirrors and the candles and stuff. That's been there the whole time. Y'all just couldn't see it.
We just changed the direction of the camera.
Yeah, we basically just took the camera from it was over there, and then we just moved it over.
I like this much better. Jen doesn't though. I think she likes all these knickknacks behind it. But
well, I like all my horror shit.
Yeah, I think that looks more like a show though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I like all my horror shit.
Yeah.
That's why I have it on the wall, because I like looking at it.
See it.
I like looking at it. Zach says, good luck wearing that dress here in the winter. Yeah, well, I mean, it's summer here, but you could actually wear this in the winter too, probably.
Here, yeah.
95% of the time, and you'd be fine.
All you gotta do is wear a coat over it.
Not even,
right, yeah.
I kind of feel like it really only gets cold enough to wear a coat maybe a couple of days.
Yeah.
You know?
More like raincoats.
Most of the time, winter in Florida, you could probably just get away with like a little hoodie. I mean, last year I think I wore a coat one day, like when we went out, I went out like an actual coat. Rest of the time, it's like I would just wear my little hoodie, and that was plenty. See what they're saying. See what Zach and everybody's saying about the new camera angle. Yeah. It looks less busy too, easier to focus on you lot. Yeah.
And then somebody says it's like a local horror television channel. That's right. It's like a local horror.
You can still see my little Tom Servo over there.
We
I see him peeking into
tear each other up and throw down behind us. With this behind us on down. This is a sex stage.
Well, yeah, that's originally why we changed it, because we wanted that background for StreamMate, and then I was just like, well, I don't want to have to move the fucking camera back and forth every time we do this show or every time we do Stream 8, so we're just going to leave it here. You know what I mean? Somebody seems to like it, so that's good.
If we had to, we could actually move this table back a couple another inches and a few more inches. That one next to you, too. And get more space over here.
We got plenty of space. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm not moving this shit around again.
All right.
Because I can't move that because it's got those huge bookshelves like behind there. We're not moving it. We already moved this.
Yeah, I can move it.
We already moved this. We're not moving everything around again.
Okay.
We did that last weekend and I'm over it. I don't like moving shit around all the time. How long did those curtains take to set up? Because God, that's some complicated bunching. Honestly, not that much. I just put up the rods. I put those up like right when we moved in. Pretty much like the week after we moved in, and I didn't really have to do much to them. Like I said, they came on, I got them on Amazon, and they were very, very inexpensive. I was actually surprised for how fancy they look. I think they were only, I want to say they were $18 each. That sounds about right. Those curtains.
Oh, okay.
Which is like not bad considering how nice they look.
Yeah.
And I've had them a couple of years. I'm sure they're not super high quality, but they look cool, and that's all I care about, really.
It's actually... Oh, that's right. This is now up here.
Yeah, we don't have... It's not attached to the... whatchamacallit anymore.
Let me know.
Paul Flint said, need more bookshelves, too. My place is a library. Yeah, I got 2 big, huge, like, IKEA-type bookshelves over there, and then I have a little half one over there, and they're all completely packed. Like, not even... like just all the way across, and then there's books on top of those books. And now I have a big pile of books on top of the shit that I don't have any room for. So I'm definitely going to be looking into getting new bookshelves. And like I'm not going to say like a dumbass, but like a glutton for punishment. Let's say that. When we were at Books A Million last weekend, the coffee lady talked me into getting a membership again. Because we are in there a lot. We buy a lot of coffee in there. I do buy a lot of books in there, like to review for the show and shit like that. So I was like, it's not that expensive. I think it's only, what was it? It's $25 for a year.
Yeah, so good.
And I got like a fuck ton of coupons. Like, so I was just like, it seems worth it. Because we go there pretty much every weekend.
And we got a new cat.
Yeah, in case you guys were not here, because like I said, we streamed on Monday. We did a review of the Meg 2. But apparently the assholes at Warner Brothers decided that we had infringed on their copyright by simply talking about the movie. And so YouTube took the video down. So, and I don't know if it's going to be reinstated. I already like bitched about it, but we'll see if that gets resolved. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't so much mad at the review going away because I was like, it's not that big of a deal. But I was mad because we told everybody on that show about, like, adopting a new cat, and now we have to, like, repeat it all the time in case anybody hasn't heard about it. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. Paul Flint says, got 6 very large ones, too. Yeah, I definitely probably need to get more. Because I also have, like, a little shelf here that has some books piled on it, and old magazines and stuff like Taboo and Weird Tales, and I got a bunch of vinyl records, which I can't play because I don't have a record player anymore, but I still have vinyl records because I can't get rid of them because they're awesome. But yeah.
We don't really know if we have the lights set up right, too. If we look too bright, just tell us. I can probably turn these lights down a little bit. I think we look a little bit washed out.
Well, I told you that before the thing started, but you said you said it looked okay. No, I don't fuck with those. That's your job. That's your job. And it's like I didn't really change that, and that's like on a lower setting.
It's a new camera, though. See?
I know, but we've used this before.
Yeah, that camera might be a little more light sensitive.
Paul Flint said not bright. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad.
Back up. Back up a little bit. Did it make a difference?
I don't know. Zach says, well, Viacom owns Warner's. Yeah, that's right. So I'm not shocked it got struck down because they will copyright anything, seemingly. Yeah, but the weird thing about the whole thing, and I said this in my complaint, was that...
We gave it a good review.
Well, no, that wasn't what I was going to say. I was going to say that there were, like, I watched at least 5 other reviews of that movie that used stills or the trailer or something like that, like, in the review, and those are still there. So I don't really understand why they picked on ours, because I didn't even use the trailer or any stills from the shit or anything.
We just talked about it. Yeah.
We just talked about it, and then we went on and talked about other things, and I was just like, are you guys high? What the fuck? I think they're just doing, like, AI's doing that shit. If anybody so much as mentions their movie, they're gonna fucking...
Yeah, it's because they're afraid of people affecting the opening.
Thank you very much, Jeffy Art.
What did he say?
Love the new look. A quick shout about Gerard Schaefer working in Wilton Manors. Oh yeah, that's right. You sent me you commented about this. My current stomping grounds and a huge LGBTQ community. Plenty of bathhouses or private clubs. LOL. Yeah, I've never actually been there. I've only you would think I'd lived in Florida pretty much all my life, but I've only been to South Florida like 2 times, and I've never been to Wilton Manors actually.
Who's this in regard to?
The guy the serial killer guy we talked about on.
Okay.
Because he was a cop.
He was down there
in Wilton Manors.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think it was, it obviously wasn't full of bathhouses back then. I don't think, because that was that was like the late 60s and early 70s. But
I wish straight people had bathhouses. The girls
maybe
won't show
they
up.
do.
The girls wouldn't show up.
Well, yeah, it would just be a bunch of dudes,
pervy dudes
with baggy scrotes.
Yeah,
standing around looking at each other.
Yeah, that's what would happen.
Where are the ladies at?
Where are all the women at? Yeah, they're not good. Yeah,
we don't go to places like
that. That'd be
funny. That would be funny. Well, see, but you just answered your own question.
It'd be funny.
That's why they don't have those.
That's why they don't have. Yeah.
Because women generally do not go to places like that.
Yeah.
It's just not appealing.
It's a dude thing.
It's a dude thing. So
They'll go to secrets, but they go with their boyfriends.
Yeah, that's more like a swingers thing. So that's more like couples.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But, yeah. So then, when I was saying about the cats, Paul Flynn said, love cats. Yeah, we do too. We have 3 of them now. So.
Yeah, and I don't think Beige is feeling good. She's vomiting a lot. And the vet said she was had kidney problems.
She's had kidney problems for a while.
Off and on for years.
Has.
Yeah, I don't know. She seems happy, but she's drinking water.
Yeah.
But she's not eating very much the past week.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be acting like sick or anything, but she's kind of...
Yeah, she's laying off the food.
Yeah.
Last time it took her a little while, and her kidneys came back, and then she got better for a while.
Yeah.
And, that vet said that if they get a lot of damn vaccines, is that it tends to be rough on their kidneys. She said that might have been that. Fucking... they had some vaccines came out when she was a little kitten that was kind of known for that. I don't know if she got that one though. It's just no talent.
Zach says he says the boathouse. I guess you mean the bathhouse. The boathouse you go to is pretty cool, but you feel like you'll get murdered going into the steam bath. It's dark and. What?
Is a boathouse or a bathhouse?
A bathhouse.
Okay, you said boathouse.
I know, because he typed boathouse because I'm assuming that the spell check fixed it.
Yeah.
That's why I was making a joke.
Yeah, they don't want you talking about bathhouses on the spell check here.
Well, no, I just think that bathhouse isn't... It's a word, but it's not like a... Yeah. It's not as common a word as boathouse, so it's going to jump to boathouse probably. John Smith said, in economic terms, Dick is always selling at a low price.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's called dickflation.
Dickflation.
Yeah.
Except not, because the dicks aren't inflating, they're deflating. But I guess that could also be dickflation.
Yeah.
Dick deflation.
Yeah. Dick deflation, yeah.
Yeah.
There's too many of them. Too many of them in the market.
Just dicks everywhere. It's just a huge forest of dicks everywhere you go.
All that damn hypergamy kicking 75% of them out.
Yeah. Paul says, hope your cat gets well soon. Thank you very much. She's, like I said, she's doing good. She does have little kidney problems, like, every now and then, but she usually goes to the vet, and then, like, she's all right again after a little while. But, yeah, our other cat, she's 13.
Yeah.
13 or 14.
14.
So, yeah, so she's our older one. And then we have 2 other ones, for people that are new. We have Pookie, and she's 6. And then just this past weekend, we adopted another cat.
Her name is Dakota.
Yeah, that's what the name was when she came from the shelter. And I was like, she kind of looks like a Dakota, so we'll just call her.
She's another Manx.
Yeah, we were excited because you don't usually see Manx cats because Pookie is a Manx. And we've been talking about getting another one, like, so they could be buddies. And we just always liked Pookie's personality, and like Manx cats are known for like having that kind of real interactive, like almost puppy-like kind of personality. So we were kind of thinking that we would get another one, but you don't usually see them like up for adoption. But we just happened to go in PetSmart, and there was one there, and they were like, "Yeah, she just came in this morning from Hofmeyer Animal Rescue, and she's fairly young. She's 14 months, and she's pretty small."
Here she is.
Oh, like Tom got her. Yeah. There she is. So yeah, she's pretty little. She looks like a little tiger.
Yeah.
You want to be on the show?
She got a tail. Looks like a little bobcat.
She does, kinda. You want to be on the show? She's like, not particularly.
She's like, she's not into lap stuff. She likes us, but she's not really.
Yeah, she's real like affectionate though.
She's from a shelter.
Yeah.
And she does funny stuff, like put her in the box to bring her home, and she didn't make a peep, didn't cry or anything on the way home. Set her in the middle of the floor and just opened it up. She came up like that. Pookie saw her and went, "Oh!" And she jumped out and immediately just walked around the house and was going, "Yeah, this is cool."
Hey, is this my house now? Okay.
Yeah. And she stays just on the top step. She stayed there for about a day.
Yeah.
And then she sleeps a lot, walks around. She's impressed with how much food there is. She likes the food because they feed her, bare minimum probably at shelters.
Yeah, because they have a lot of cats to feed, so they're not gonna like overstuff them.
Yeah.
But
she'll
get fat here.
The other cats see her and they don't know what to make of her. Pookie's warmed up to her, but she just ignores the other cats because she's used to cats.
Yeah, she was like not hostile. She was just kind of like she looked at Pookie and was like, "Oh yeah, it's another kitty. All right,
yeah,
I'm gonna go do my own
went to
shit.
sleep.
Bye."
Yeah,
she's like, she just kind of yawned and was like,
yawned and rolled over to sleep. Pookie's like, "Oh, I don't know.
What's going
you
on?
Turn your back on me? You sleeping?" I got videos of Pookie creeping up and looking at Dakota on the steps, just freaking out that cat's asleep. I can't believe it. The cat's asleep. It's sleeping right in front of me. It's not even scared. You know what I mean?
Poor Pookie.
Yeah, and then Pookie go back underneath the bed and hide. But Pookie's made peace with it now. She realizes that this cat doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that it's not gonna it's not a threat to her.
Yeah, it doesn't even make any noise.
No, not really. The first night we brought her home, she was kind of like, she wasn't crying, but she was like meowing a lot, like in the middle of the night and kept waking me up.
She was calling her friends.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But it's like she hasn't really done that since then.
Yeah.
But I felt so bad because I wasn't actually sure how Pookie was going to react to us bringing another cat home because, she's been around Beijing, but Beijing was grown when we got Pookie, when Pookie was a little baby. So she's never experienced having another cat be brought in like when she was grown. So I didn't expect her to be that. She wasn't mean. She was terrified.
Yeah.
Like she opened the cat and she's like, "What the fuck?"
She'd run from her.
And then she just kind of scrunched down and like ran under the bed, and she was under the bed for like a day and a half. Like she wouldn't come out. But
now she realized it doesn't matter.
But yeah, now she was interested. She kept like she'd come out from under the bed and like look at the kitty like in the hall, and kind of creep and be like, "What is that kitty doing?"
Yeah.
And then like the kitty would move or something. And she'd be like, "Shit!" And then she'd run back under the bed again.
Dakota was sitting there cleaning her paws, sitting on the top step cleaning her paws and grooming. And Pookie was just mystified, like, she does the same thing I do. What is this? Why is it sitting where I sit? Because it took all her spots.
I know. Well, I felt so bad.
It took all her favorite
It was
spots.
almost like she knew
where all the best spots were.
Like she came in and she's like, she immediately took over like Pookie's little post at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Like on the thing. Her favorite little lounge chair downstairs by the front door. And I was like, "Oh, Pookie's gonna be so mad." But she seems to have gotten over it.
No, she doesn't care.
Last night
she was eating out of Pookie's dish, and Pookie was just sitting there watching, like, "Okay, no big deal." And I gave her a meat stick, and then she chew on that meat stick and watch the other cat eat out of her dish, and she didn't care.
Okay, so she's not. I mean, Pookie is not. I have never seen her mad about anything. Like, she's not hostile toward other cats. She did hiss at that cat, but because she was afraid. She wasn't trying to fight or nothing like that. But she's real chill, you know what I mean? She's not hostile toward other cats generally. Actually, as a matter of fact, when we first got her, Beijing was kind of, I don't know if I'd go as far as saying hostile, but Beijing was like, what is this little kitten that's come here and like is trying to usurp my position in the house? And she would like hiss at Pookie and stuff like that, and Pookie was just like this tiny little kitten, and she was just like, I just want to play.
Yeah.
And then Beijing was like, fuck off, little one. You know, she was like that.
Pookie just fought back, though. She didn't care.
Yeah, she was just like, ah, yay.
Yeah, she would just attack. And then chase Beijing off. She's just incorrigible. Very dominant personality. But this cat's chilling her out.
Yeah.
I think this cat chills her out a lot. Hey, what's up, Pook? We're talking about you.
Hi, Pookie. Oh, little Pookie, come in. Where is she?
She's looking for that other cat.
She was just in here. Pookie missed it. Paul says, should do a cat live stream. I mean, you know, I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Allison said, Jenny, you guys will spoil her rotten. Yeah, we will. Pookie is already spoiled rotten.
This one so far isn't very interactive. She does her own thing all day. She'll look out windows, and she's happy, but she's a shelter cat, so she doesn't really need a lot of attention.
She does seem to like attention,
She
though.
likes it.
Like,
She doesn't come to you to seek it out.
Right. Whereas Pookie does.
Yeah.
Pookie is just kind of like, hey, love me. Or she'll follow you around everywhere. This, Dakota does kind of follow you around a little bit. And like I said, the first day we brought her home, I sat down with her. She came in and she was like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, she was like looking all around like, oh, this is nice, like all this house and everything. And I sat down on the floor next to her, and she immediately was just kind of like rubbing her head all over and like licking my hands and showed me, like rolled over and showed me her belly and all this other stuff. So I was just kind of like, okay, I guess she's all right. So she was like immediately comfortable.
So we got a pretty good crowd in there.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any questions or if you want to talk about anything, just go ahead and drop it in the comment section. And we can go in that direction. We're just getting everybody ready for the weekend, being Friday and everything. And we got to go out. In case you're just joining us now, me and Jen got to go out to the club tonight. And Little Swole's going to be there.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he's going to be there. I'm going to try to save him.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, and then I just got to keep from drinking too much because I got to drive there.
Yeah.
And I'll be drinking when I get there, and then I come back.
Yeah.
So
just gotta be careful.
Yeah. Put some more ice in this. How you doing for ice? You all right?
Well, you know, it melts quick.
All right.
Is how that happens. Oracle says spoiled rotten is the level of attention one should give a cat. I agree. That's why I kind of I was so conflicted because it's like we have been talking about getting another cat for a long time because I said I think Pookie needs a buddy. You know what I mean? Because she likes to play and she's real interactive and stuff like that. I said she needs another kitty to hang out with so she's not lonely like if we're not home and stuff like that. Because, you know, Beijing is just kind of like, nope, I'm too old for this shit. You know, Beijing's like, I just want to lay on the back of the couch. Leave me alone. So, so we had been talking about it for a long time. But then when we saw that cat, when we saw Dakota on Monday when we were at the mall, like at PetSmart, and I was just kind of like, oh man, it's like I really want that cat. She seems really sweet and everything like that. But I was like, how is Pookie gonna react? And I was like really stressing out about it. And I was stressing about it the whole time because, like I said, for a couple of days she was like just hid under the bed and she wouldn't come out. And I was just kind of like, oh man, this is bad. But she seems to have gotten over it. So hopefully they'll hang out. Let's see. Oracle says, I have some news to share, some good and some bad. Good news, my husband had to have a lump removed from his arm, but the biopsy is expected to be benign. That's good. And then, cute news, my niece turned 6 months old on Tuesday. Aw. Oh, somebody, like, Zach reminded me, William Friedkin died.
Who's that?
The guy that directed The Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
You know? Oracle says, crappy news, my contract is expiring end of September. Well, shit. Hopefully, I mean, do you think you're going to be able to find anything else, or, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about, putting in my notice at my job, and then working out the rest of the month, and then going to Stream 8 full time. You know?
It's more our style.
It's definitely more our style.
If we can just jump on in 45 minutes, make like $60. Then.
Well, I figured it out. I said to make the same amount of money
Yeah.
that I make at my job, I was like, we need 48 minutes of paid time at the rate we're at now.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes it might take you 6 hours to get that 48 minutes of paid time, because a lot of the times you're just kind of sitting around waiting for people to come in and pay you to do something. But once I figured that out mathematically, I'm like, that really doesn't sound like all that much. Like, you do 48 paid minutes, that's like $100-something.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's...
And we were actually, on that, the last time we streamed, we averaged better than that because we had more than one person watching.
Yeah.
At one time. There was one time where there were 5 guys in there paying at once.
Yeah.
That's how we got that amount of money in such a short period of time.
Yeah, because we were really only on for like an hour and 15 minutes and made like 40.
We made all that money in 45 minutes, and then we stayed on for another half hour or so.
Yeah.
It started to sputter out. The traffic started to die because I guess you could say the morning shift, the afternoon kind of shift was leaving. That's not really a good way to put it.
It does seem to be better in like the morning, like
afternoons.
mid-morning, than at night.
'Cause you got British customers in there.
Yeah, because
that
they're
time.
5 hours ahead of us.
Right. We had a British client. He was pretty cool.
I know, like I said, he was so nice and polite.
Yeah. he didn't turn his camera on. We didn't see him. He was just... He said, "Where are you?" In the United States, at Florida. He goes, "Oh, yeah, I'm in London." I said, "Oh, great, yeah." And he goes, and we're like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Man, I'm horny as hell." "Yeah, where you at?" "I'm at the office." I said, "Okay."
And I was
man.
like, all right.
All right, so nothing in particular then. No, nothing in particular. Just, so...
Just do what you want.
Yeah, so we just fucking put on a good show. And like, nobody jumped in on that one. It was later when we were doing the BDSM shows when they jumped in.
Yeah, we had like 5 people.
Yeah, a guy asked me to rough her up and shit. I was roughing her up. And then the guy started jumping in on that.
Like,
And they're
ooh,
throwing
we're
their
gonna
2 cents in. Slap her! Which, we actually do it, but I'm using stage techniques and shit, and camera angles and cupping your hand and trying to make a slap sound a lot louder than it actually is. And she's good. She knows when it's coming. It's like pro wrestling,
Yeah. He's gonna hit me with a chair, with a folding chair. That'd be funny. We should do that. We should do like a wrestling stream one day.
I'm grabbing the camera. Look how red she is. Look how red those
You
dudes
did
are fucking
leave like
loving
big
it.
red marks
Yeah,
on
fucking
my
snap it right
thing.
here. Pow! Fucking,
That's okay though.
yeah.
Aaron says, "What is this thing you're doing? I keep missing. Is it like a fans only type thing?" It's called, well, I guess like
She's talking about
OnlyFans.
streaming.
Yeah, it's called StreamMate. It's not the only platform that you can do this on. There's other ones.
Yeah, there's...
I think the most famous one's probably ChatterBait
Yeah, Live Jasmine.
or Live Jasmine.
Live Jasmine, yeah.
But we like StreamMate so far.
Yeah, StreamMate's the best one.
Because
Live
it's-
Jasmine is kind of like StreamMate too. It's a similar system, but that's a token site.
Yeah, well, the reason that I like StreamMate is because it doesn't work the same as ChatterBait and stuff like that, where there's all these kind of weird rules when you're doing online sex work, I guess. You're doing essentially like live porn. You're in your own house, but people are just like asking, like paying you to do certain things.
Yeah, they're gonna come up with a scene and pay you to do this fucking scene.
Right.
Basically.
So you just do that, live for them.
And this is gonna. Here's the thing, though. This is not a full-on scene. Me and Jen have done those. We got them for sale. All right. Chances are this dude's gonna last 5 minutes. So it's fake, basically. You're doing it, but it's not for you. It's for the customer.
Yeah.
It's custom-made live porn, interactive.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And like I said, some people are really specific
Yeah.
in what they want, and some people are just kind of like, whatever. Like they just like anything.
And make no mistake, porn's kind of fake too.
Well, yeah.
It's totally set up. It's a setup. Even if it looks real amateur and it looks like, man, we're sneaking off and doing this, or man, here she is. She didn't know that I videotaped her. Or, you know, this is my friend's wife. Like, there's paperwork involved. You can't just post anything. You got to have fucking.
They're very stringent.
It's stringent. They got to know who everybody is in the video, how old they are, and they have to sign release forms and consent forms.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as, like, well, anything that doesn't have they do exist. What we're talking about, real pirate shit. Just somebody did on their phone on a whim and tried to post it. That won't be up there for long. They'll take it down because there isn't any paperwork behind it.
Yeah.
You can't really verify who those people are, how old they are,
or if they
they've all
consented
or
to have that
right.
filmed.
Some girl, she's just drunk and rolling around, and guys are taking advantage of her, and they're acting like they're really getting away with something. If it's on that site, it's consent forms were signed. She's
yeah, we had to do.
Yeah.
We do StreamMate. StreamMate, we had to go through a big long process where we each had to take multiple pictures of our face so they could 3D map them. Then you have to take pictures of your ID. You have to take pictures of you with your ID. You have to scan the ID, the front and the back. You have to do all that stuff, and then they have to like vet you. And then before every single time before we stream, like as soon as you hit stream now, like start the show, they are like, okay, we have to start the scan, and you have to stick both your faces in the fucking camera, and they have to 3D scan your face to make sure that there's nobody that's not supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
Because I only have 2 people on my account, me and him.
Yeah.
So you can bring in other people, but they have to go through all of the rigmarole. And we also sell videos on ManyVids. And that I got an account. I had to do all that. You have to take a picture of yourself with your ID and a sign that says ManyVids and the date and your name and all this, and you have to like talk on it. Say the date is blah blah blah. You have to do all this legal shit, and then to put up videos that had him in them, he had to sign this big long legal consent form saying that, you know, I was allowed to upload stuff like with him in it, like in perpetuity. You know what I mean? So I had to do that too.
There's all kinds of shit that some of these girls are doing. Some of these girls that are doing content creation. There's now like online consent forms where you can get all that information from somebody on the spot. Both sides of their ID, their face, and then they sign the consent form on her tablet. All right, and then they even have a new way where she can swab that dude's mouth and run him through basically a STD test in a matter of like 15 minutes. There's like a pretty accurate STD test with just some chemicals you shake on this thing. They're using that now. That way, you know, if she has a quick encounter with some dude, let's record this. That's what they're doing, you know, at a concert or out in public or something. And they got girls that are just meeting these guys. Be on camera with me. Usually it's a fan. Yeah. Someone who knows her. I recognize you. She goes, okay, want to do something real quick? Let's help me make some money. Here's 50. You know. So she hires him to star in one of her. Because there really should be some kind of there's got to be some kind of contract. There's got to be consent.
Yeah, there's got to be
all
a
that
system.
kind of stuff. And then it's better if there's some kind of money in exchange to where she can now say that he's a hired hand, that he was a hired performer, which kind of gives her some more cover in different ways. You know what I mean? And I think you can even use it as a tax write-off.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. But like I said, doing any kind of sex work like this, you got to be real careful because...
I don't like that word, sex work, because that sounds like we're hooking.
Yeah, well, that's just like a general term, but you know what I mean?
It's getting too general.
What I was going to say was that you have to be really careful because a lot of... one thing I noticed with StreamMate is that a lot of your mainstream... pay platforms like PayPal or Cash App or anything like that will not work with adult entertainment sites, even ones that have been vetted and that are reputable and stuff like that. So there have sprung up like a little side business, I guess, in other pay platforms that are friendly to that sort of thing. The problem is that they usually charge fees.
Yeah, big
so
fees.
When I get paid through StreamMate, I usually just have them send me a check.
Yeah,
like going old school, and then I just like put it in my. So I get a check from them every Wednesday, like depending, you know. Paul Flynn said, "You've been looking at my internet history."
But if if you're a StreamMate customer, our channel is called Jen Tom Cam, one word. And that's us on there.
Yeah.
So you can follow us there, and whenever we go live, you'll get notified.
Yeah. We'll probably
and
do
there's videos
some
for sale on there, but it's only videos of Jen.
Yeah.
I had to be edited out of a lot of them because for some crazy reason, whoever owns the account on StreamMate, only they can post videos of themselves. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But for some reason, I can stream with her and do and perform. We can even record the performance, evidently, from what I understand, on that platform and sell it on that platform, but not anything we recorded off of that platform. It doesn't make any sense. They said they're going to try to change that.
Yeah, they said they are working on it. Like they have some shit in
legal.
beta. But yeah, well, we determined that it's probably because I think there's a difference between streaming and recording.
Which is a communication.
So
and then
it's probably
recording
two different legal
would mean distribution of pornography,
things. Right.
Which might be a different laws involved with that. They may not be licensed for that yet. But the thing is that if you're doing something live, what we're doing is basically live stripping online. So kind of like on that level. So that's not quite live. That's not like distribution of pornography. That's more like just a communication.
Right.
In other words, like a telephone call. It's like that. A video call.
Except dirty.
It's not to the masses. And it's also nothing in StreamMate's in public.
Now some people do stuff in public.
Yeah, but
you're
they're breaking the rules.
Technically not supposed to.
Yeah, Colombia does that. And some girls really push the limits of what you can do in public. You're not supposed to be showing anything below the belt in public on there. But it's best not to do anything public. No free shows. Make them pay.
That's what I mean. It's like the whole reason for us being on there is like, oh yeah, it's fun, but it's like, is to make money. Mm-hmm. So if you're like giving everything away for free,
yeah,
no one's gonna pay for shit. You know what I mean?
So in StreamMate, we're just hanging out in the set talking. People are coming in and out. If they start talking to us, and they have a choice of either going private or going exclusive. If they go private, they pay a certain amount a minute, but other people can join the show and interact. So we get paid for everybody who joins. That's how that one thing happened. If they go exclusive, it's only him. Nobody else can come in. But in exclusive, he can turn his camera on free of charge. That's how we got set up.
Yeah.
And it's about half the guys that go exclusive do turn their camera on.
Cam to cam.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised on what these dudes look like. One dude was IFBB men's fitness quality level guy. I mean, he was fucking shredded. And they could be doing porn. I would say a lot of the dudes that showed, probably all the guys that actually turned their camera on could be doing porn. Just straight porn standards for the males are not that high.
Yeah, that's true.
But the gay porn standards are a lot higher. But,
yeah, they are.
But some of them were like that. But that one guy was very fit. And then that Viking dude, he could have easily made it in porn.
Oh yeah.
So we had one guy, Viking something or other, and he was bragging that he had a fucking 10.5-inch dick and fucking 11-inch dick. He was saying that in public and shit. But there's other people around in the chat room that says, "Yeah, bullshit. You're gonna have to fucking go exclusive, turn the camera on, fucking prove that. You just can't fucking come in here and say that." He did. Went exclusive, turned the camera on, and sure enough, that motherfucker was huge. He's in good shape too.
Fair play.
Looked like he had a big old beard like a Viking. He's probably about 6'3", probably by looking at him. Real fucking stocky. And that motherfucker was, probably about 11 inches. Like big around as a fucking beer can.
John Smith said, both the funniest and most disturbing genre, amateur cuck stuff. You would be surprised how many people ask for
they ask
cuck
for that
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they want us to do though.
See, that's what I mean. I always just kind of feel like, because a lot of people do ask for that.
You have to see some of them videos.
So
you got to do your homework on that.
Well, no, but it's like we've done it a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's just that you're not really sure if they want to cuck you out or if you want to cuck them out. Or
no, they want to. They're the cucks.
Right.
But you don't insult them enough. You didn't give them what they wanted. Not really insult them. You didn't fucking. You got to talk to them constantly during all that.
Well, kind of hard to do because you were like knocking me over. So
yeah.
Let's see. Jeff Yard said, I wonder what OnlyFans stance is on fetish imagery that doesn't necessarily show faces. Do you think that's a workaround? Even creating erotic AI art might start becoming an industry.
I wouldn't fuck with OnlyFans. We tried to mess with it, and just it's damn near impossible to get on OnlyFans.
Yeah, it really
you want to go on
difficult.
Fansly. Fansly will take you. It's easy to get on. Did you ever get accepted?
No.
How come I got accepted?
I don't know. I mean, it took a while for you to get accepted too.
Not
I
that
think they
long.
get a lot of people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice.
We got to go back and check on that and see what the deal was.
Well, I check my email every day, so
Yeah.
I would have seen it.
Okay.
Let me see. Paul Flint says not got laid in years. Zach says gay porn is also better porn. Fight me. I'm not going to disagree with you on that score. I actually quite like gay porn.
It's shot different.
Well, yeah.
It's shot differently. It doesn't matter who the guy is in straight porn because the attention isn't on him, and it's just a damn dick, and all the cameras just focusing just on the girl or girls if there's more than one of them. In high end factory gay porn, the guys are the stars. They're just totally in the camera the whole time. A lot of face shots and shit. It's shot better, I would say.
Yeah.
But that's not what guys want to see. That's not what straight guys want to see. So
well, you're right. It's like everything
it's
is catered toward its own
tailored to
audience.
Right. It's tailored to the viewer. What the demographics of the viewer is. But pretty much anybody can be a straight porn star as long as you can stay hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's really
Yeah.
not much of a
Standards aren't
barrier
really-
for entry.
No,
Honestly,
yeah.
like, even stuff like, on StreamMate and things like that, it's like, you would be, I mean, there's really all types on there. There's all ages and all sizes and all everything.
Yeah, and they're all getting business.
And they're all getting business.
Yeah.
So it's like, that kind of makes me feel better in a way. It's like,
Well, it's different angles. You'll see couples in there that are very overweight, in their 50s or 60s, and you just go, why the fuck is anybody doing them when you've got all these fucking hotties all in the windows next to them? Some people want to get busy with people who look just like them. That's what that is. They're not comfortable around real good-looking people. They want to be around somebody who looks like them. It's a more personal connection, I guess.
Well, and maybe it seems more like you're watching something illicit. Because, like, I feel like if you're watching, like, mainstream produced porn, like, yeah, everybody's hot and good looking, and it's like, yeah, but most people don't really look like that in real life. So you feel like you're watching something you shouldn't be watching. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is.
According to Bill, it's that some people like to see people who look just like them. That's what he said. Bill's been doing this for a long time. He says if you have people who are just unattractive, they still sell. But they sell to unattractive people. They like the people that look like them.
Hey, unattractive people have money too.
Yeah.
Jeffy Art said a friend of mine uses Just for Fans, and he told me that it's crucial to set up solid boundaries when it comes to engaging the audience. Keep it polite and friendly, but know that dirty talk is money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
because
what I was saying.
we've figured out that a lot of people will come in and try to get you to say dirty shit to them.
Yeah.
So they don't have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
Like, because some people, I guess that's all it takes. They just
Yeah.
want somebody to, like, say some... So they'll come in and, like, ask certain questions and stuff like that.
In
like,
general, the worst in the adult industry are OnlyFans girls. They're like the least professional. Their skin is the thinnest, and they're the kind where if they think you're talking dirty to them, they'll block you. They'll get rid of the people. They'll get rid of their own customers. They'll find out that one of their customers is married, so she'll block him. They just do stupid shit because the average woman is just not cut out for this kind of work. They take it too personally. They don't really know what, especially if they're young, they don't know what men are or how men actually work, and they think there's some kind of morality behind what they're doing. No, this is entertainment. You're selling fantasy. And yeah, that dude's married, but you may be keeping him from cheating. If he didn't have some kind of a fucking vent or an outlet, that dude'd probably be getting hookers. Okay, so yeah, your DM's gonna be filled with married guys with kids and shit, with daughters the same age as you. That guy doesn't differentiate that way. He just sees you as a woman. He doesn't see you as somebody the same age as his daughter or whatever. Guys don't really work that way. They're just trying to do a sexual transaction, and it's just visual. So if you can't handle that, if a woman's not mature enough for that, she doesn't need to be in this kind of work. And a lot of them don't make it. The average girl according to what Bill says, the average girl in the video industry, which is what he does, is like 4 months. They can't take it. It's because women aren't built for that. They're not built for gangbangs. They're not built for this shit. You know what I mean? You gotta have you gotta have a sense of humor. You gotta have you gotta almost be like a carny in a certain way, that this is all just a scam. We're gonna try to get money out of the customer. We're gonna do this and that. None of this is real. This is all theater, you know. And
well, you have to approach it the same way you would approach an acting job.
Yeah, it's like acting,
because
right?
It's the same thing.
Yeah. And then she's got to be tough enough to realize, yeah, all these dicks are going to be coming out and all this shit, and I'm going to swallow this and that. But that's not really who you are. That was just that one job. But everybody's going to treat you a certain way after that. They're not going to look at you. Yeah. It's really going to affect your relationships. It's not healthy for a young person unless they're just gifted with a certain fucking kind of mind, you know?
Well, like I said, some people really, really like doing that.
Yeah. And other ones are just... They're doing it for the money.
For the money, yeah.
But the problem is that it's not worth the money. The toll that it's going to take on you, if you're young, the toll it's going to take on your relationships is not really worth what they're paying you. There has to be more to it. You have to enjoy it in a certain way. You have to enjoy that lifestyle and that business and that type of theater. But I would never recommend any of this shit for a young woman. One that hasn't been married or hasn't had any kids, or because that can really get in the way of something like that. Plus, over 30, divorced with kids already, yeah, you're in a different arena, you know what I mean? And you're going to be dating with guys who are older or more mature to begin with. And grown women might be more mentally solid, you know. Their character is more fixed to where they can handle it. But young women can't handle it, if you ask me.
Well, I don't, to me, like I said, it's not like, we've talked about this before. It's not like I'm going out escorting or going to a porn shoot or anything like that. Like I said, we're just in the room, like it's just me and him.
It's just me and Jen, and anything me and Jen do, it's shit we already do anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like, it's not that weird. It's like, oh, there's people on the other side of the
that's not what I was talking
the screen,
about,
like watching us. So it's like I'm not really that. But I don't take it really that seriously.
That's not what I was talking about, though. What I was talking about was young girls in porn, especially studio porn. They're gonna have they're gonna have to fucking. They work them to death, man. You know. They're gonna try to get several hundred scenes out of them a year, you know, and then they're gonna have to go on tour and go to dance clubs, and then they're sugaring and they're escorting too. Usually, it's just because there's management studios are involved. They're like, no, you must do this for your career. Oh, you're gonna have to do this. And they're making money off of her. She's making money too, but they'll tell them, well, you only have a small window where you can make this money. 10 years from now, all this is going to dry up. You'll be lucky to last 5 years. Make your money now. So you just try to fucking ram them through the system, and it breaks them. If you ask me. And,
well, because
Bill says he'd never do it. I see what he does. You can see what his wife does. And he says, I would never really want my wife to be a studio actress. They're pro-am.
And the thing about it is that they know that there's countless other women behind them, so it's like, oh, if you don't want to do something, somebody else will. Right. And they're just going to get everything they can get out of you, and then just like go on to the next one.
That old school studio system is dehumanizing on a woman. It's not right. But I understand it's a machine, though.
Yeah, they're just trying to make money.
It's just trying to make money, and they've willingly thrown themselves into that machine. I wouldn't do it. I would never recommend it. If you want to do something like that, man, have your own accounts and your own platforms and stream and make your own material, and then when you have your shit up on mini vids and you're getting residuals off of everything you
and
made.
then you can just do what you want to do.
Right, you're doing what you want to do. Right.
And you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, with a bunch of strangers.
Right. Usually they're making content with other content creators that have long histories.
Right.
You can see all their videos that they made, and there's a little social scene, you know. Oh yeah, I heard about you. And
Yeah, they collab with each other and
collaborate
stuff like that. But it's like they don't have to. It's not like they show up to work and they're like, you have to do this, or we're gonna get somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
You control it. You do whatever you want.
And that's a lot more artistic, and it's more tailored. You know, a woman can tailor her own material and her own image, and she has a lot more control over.
Yeah, which is always much better.
It's a lot better.
And you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Like
but I still would not recommend. Okay, young women, nude stuff and solo acts and shit like that. Maybe with you and your girlfriend. Okay, fine. That's not going to really get in the way of wife and kids and a future. Most guys will tolerate that. They'll think, oh yeah, it's sexy. You were out there doing it. God, shit, when I was young, I was dating strippers. I thought that shit was hot as shit. Oh, the guy's paying to see him, and I'm fucking knocking it down. You know, I just thought that was good. I thought that was really cool. A lot of these creators are like that level. So if you're in your 20s, as long as you're not doing anything super outrageous, you're doing mostly solo stuff, or maybe you and your girlfriend fucking do a scene or something, most guys will tolerate that. But if you're doing fucking gangbangs and shit, man, these dudes are never going to look at you the same way. Especially the guys in their 20s. They're not built for that. They'd be like, oh, they're going to turn their nose up at you. They might hit, but they're not going to marry you. You fucking crazy? Hell no.
Jeff Yarrett says, when you work in the adult industry, I'd imagine you need to get into a headspace by reminding yourself that you offer a service and nothing else.
Yeah, partly.
Yeah.
Well, when we're streaming, it's like that. Kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of how it, like I said, it's kind of like a different situation when you're doing what we're doing, because we're just like in here and it's just me and him. So it's not like these people are watching us, but they're not here. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're far away. They're like in another country or something.
They'll interact a little bit. You fucking make comments, don't you?
But it's like, it is. But the thing about it is that it is fun. Like we do have a fun time doing it. Like we'll have drinks, we have music on. You know, we're just kind of like fucking around. We're joking around and shit like that. So it's good to have like a little bit of a party atmosphere that gets like more people to come in and see what you're up to. But yeah, it is helpful to think to yourself, you're just like helping these dudes get off.
Jerk off.
I mean, pretty much.
Keeping them out of trouble.
Nothing wrong with that. Everybody does it. Yeah. So, you know, these guys are paying you to look at you.
Yep.
To help them out. So, it's, you know, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. And the thing is though is like porn. I don't think it should be banned or anything. It shouldn't be controlled, but people have to start educating these younger guys what the effects are of that. That can really fuck up your endorphin systems, and you want to stay away from it as much as possible. You know what I mean? Because especially if you're a young guy and you're trying to develop fucking skills and mate and fucking get girlfriends and shit, that might get in the way because
kind of warps your perception.
Warp your perception
and your expectations.
Another thing is that you just it'll sap away your drive to go out and find girlfriends or to even care about them. So then you're going to have these women going, where are all the guys? Well, they're all jacking off. They don't need you.
They're all at home.
Yeah, they're all at home jacking off. And then you miss out on relationships, see, because the sex is only one part of it, man. The relationships, really, that's the best part of it, you know. And you can knock down a woman and have a good time, but if you don't really know who she is and you don't really plan on ever having a relationship, it's not the same. It's not the same. But if you know her and you're friends with her, it's a lot better. You know, especially if a relationship starts happening. So, guys have to. Porn can affect a man's game, a young man's game. You know,
yeah.
You want to understand that that's not reality. Although there are people that are that good in bed.
Well, sure.
Yeah. But you're not going to deal with that lighting and that camera angle. Although we have those outfits, we wear those outfits. So yeah, I have to back up. Go, yeah, sex is like that because it was kind of like that most of the time. But I was dealing with goth girls, you know.
Yeah.
And goth girls are good in bed, and they care about the way things look. And when you're in your 20s and 30s, man, fucking, especially in your 20s, sex is a big deal. So everybody puts everything into it, you know, and you're doing it within the boundaries of a subculture, you know. We're burning incense and fucking canopy beds and Mazzy Star going and yeah,
it's a whole situation.
Yeah, drinking fucking box wine. Box Merlot by the side of the bed.
That shit's not that bad.
No, it's good, yeah. It's good.
Honestly, I'm not a wine connoisseur or anything like that, but it's just kind of like, I can't tell the difference between a fucking $11 bottle of wine and a fucking $50 bottle of wine, so.
I already discussed all this. Good wine is good wine, and as long as you like it, it's good. You can get
I kind of feel like people
really,
have understand that now, that you can actually get a really decent bottle of wine for like $10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, some bottles of wine that are $10 are terrible, but you can get good ones for that, and there's really no reason to spend
$20 bottle
more.
of wine better be goddamn good.
Yeah.
It was only back in the olden days that bad wine existed. All wine is pretty good now.
Yeah, you can't really get away with like super shitty stuff the way you used to be able to.
Like what I said earlier, I said you could take that box of fucking Walmart Merlot wine and jump in a time machine and go back into the 1700s or the 1600s and give that wine to a king, and he would say, "This is the best wine I've ever had," because it would be.
Yeah, compared to the shit they had back then.
Back
But they didn't know any better. Everything sucked.
Yeah.
So everything just tasted like ass.
A lot of shit that came out of those wine bottles back then was fucking sour and fucking nasty because the bottles weren't clean.
Like I said, they didn't know any better.
You know, the real good quality wine, then maybe they washed the bottles. Most of them tasted pretty good. And they all kind of tasted similar. They may not taste exactly the same, but they all tasted similar. Nowadays, they all taste exactly the same. And none of them go spoiled.
I mean, hell,
and they're all pleasant to taste.
I was just thinking you could take like some fucking sandwiches from Circle K back to the past, and they probably think that was the most delicious shit ever.
Yeah,
they are. I mean,
you could take a fucking Circle K microwave burrito and take that bitch back to fucking medieval England, okay? Back in Essex, Worcestershire shakes, shit like that. Yeah, some tuppence. I'm making up fucking British.
Yeah, he's making up
British neighborhoods and shit. You go to there and hand that.
How about Dorking?
Yeah. The Lord of Dorking. You can give him the fucking red hot burrito, and he'd love that. You know. The idea that it came in a plastic bag would blow his fucking mind.
Like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's in a plastic. Wow, what kind of wrap?
You must be from like a wonderful utopian age.
Never touched by human hands.
Which I guess it kind of is.
Yeah.
I know people like to piss and moan, but I'm just like, think about all the miraculous things that we have. If you went back in time and told people about the shit, they'd be like, holy crap, like you guys must live in the fucking Garden of Eden or something, all the cool shit you guys have. Allison says, I prefer the muscle men and the twinks to the fetish stuff. Fair enough.
Allison said that?
Yeah. Jeffy Art said there's a low budget.
She must have been listening.
Fantasy what?
She must have been listening to me and the stories about Daniel. One of the guys this bodybuilder guy that I know, I would get fucking anabolics from him sometimes, and he makes porn. He makes gay porn. He's a straight guy that makes gay porn.
Well, that's where the money is.
Yeah. And
for a straight guy, that's where the money is.
Motherfucker's huge, man. Huge. He looks good too. And that's what he would do, is he'd get super fucking high, super jacked up on Trenbolone. Tren makes you fucking a psycho. And,
which, if you're new here,
yeah,
we have personal experience with that because Tom took it for a while and turned into the Goblin.
The Goblin,
essentially,
basically. Crossed between a goblin and a werewolf.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what he does. Is he gets fucked up on Tren. He gets really fucking big. Takes a whole bunch of Viagra, and sometimes we use something called Trimix, which it's an injectable serum you inject into your dick, and you'll be hard for like 24 hours. And there's all kinds of things you got to have on hand, some antidotes if anything goes wrong. You got to know how to fucking make a certain incision to drain blood out of you if it goes wrong. There's all kinds of weird shit that could go wrong with Trimix. And basically what he does is twinks pay him basically to, I don't want to say the R word, but to be very rough on these dudes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a R fantasy for these twinks and this muscle man.
Not like we haven't said that word on like all of our true crime shows. I know
Right.
a lot of people will bleep it out because
It's
they're trying
consensual,
to
but it doesn't look consensual.
yeah, like it's a fantasy.
Yeah,
Sure.
but that's part of the reason the paperwork all sorts it out. If the guy signed the consent form and everything after the fact, and
that's why they have to do that,
then
because
it's consensual.
Because if they have these fantasy situations where
Yeah.
it looks like somebody is like not willing,
Yeah.
they have to know that their ass is covered on that shit. Which, like I said, it's a pain in the ass, like for us as performers, like to have to go through all this kind of crap. But you understand like why they do it.
Yeah, and part of the fucking thing is after the whole thing's done, Dan will fucking grab the money and he goes, look at this, $600. He paid me $600 for what I did to him. Just weird shit, just rubbing it in his face. That's how
I kind of want to
pathetic
watch
this
it.
guy- Was that?
I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Not
But
gonna
he
lie.
just told me. He just
I'll
told
watch
me.
it.
I wouldn't watch that shit.
You wouldn't?
He wanted me to work with him. I'm going, nah, I don't want to. He goes, no,
I'll
man,
watch it.
nah, man, you'll have a good time, man. We'll make so much money. And
I
was
love
like,
I
nah,
love gay porn.
No.
I love gay
Nah. So I can't have videos of me like that out there, man. I can't do that shit. He goes, I'll get you the cutest twink ever, man. I get you the kid, you'll love him. And I'm like, no, man, stop that shit.
And meanwhile,
He's
I'm
laughing.
over here going,
He's
do
laughing.
it, do
She's
it.
laughing.
He won't do it. He
I
won't do
I
it.
had to fucking, I was fucking with him. What's your girlfriend think about all this? And she goes, oh, she loves it. That's what he said. Same thing.
See,
So she loves it.
women are we're freaks.
Women
man.
are freaky shit.
We're
yeah.
freaks. And we don't even like say out loud like 90% of the shit we think. So just
I got a picture.
think of that.
I got a picture of him I can show.
Okay.
I'll go get it. I think it's in my other tablet.
Camp Guy says just buy cheap vodka and mix it with good fruit juice. That's what we do. I mean, honestly, we just usually buy a fifth. Like every week, we usually buy like a fifth of. I usually get Sky, but sometimes if I'm a little bit broke, I'll get Pinnacle because it's like half the price. And then we just either Tom will make lemonade or some kind of berry kind of juice or something like that, and we'll just mix it with that. Or sometimes we'll just get I don't know, just like orange juice or Minute Maid kind of fruit punch or something like that,
I want to show you.
and mix it with that.
Before I get that picture,
I just wanted to show you. That's my screensaver. My screensaver is
I can't see that.
my screensaver is Jen in porn mode.
I can't see it, so I can.
You don't need to see it.
Well, I know, but I don't remember what it looks like.
this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's silly. He has like all his pictures of me on the.
Yeah.
John Smith said you could take a fork back to medieval England and people would think you were pretty fancy and French.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have forks back then. They just picked shit up with their hands and stuffed it in their face. Not really, but probably, kind of. I saw something else that I wanted to. Victor says gay porn made me gay.
Yeah. Everything made you gay, Vic.
Zach says gay made me gay.
Gay.
I
You
love
guys are
it.
fucking funny.
I love it.
I
Allison
thought-
said twinks are adorable. They are. And then she said I love the Asian ones.
I thought I had a picture of Dan with his shirt off.
I was real into like all those do you remember all those boys that they had in propaganda, like that God mag back in the
Propaganda magazine, yeah.
Ooh, that was my jam.
Yeah.
They're kind of like twinks a little bit. They're just like
they were-
real skinny goth
Yeah.
boys. Like they were kind of
Well,
feminine a little bit, but
Tanya was writing one of them. Dave Kobiak.
yeah, he was the hottest one.
Yeah.
He was so hot that he was kind of famous, and he
Yeah.
wasn't even like a musician or anything. I don't think he was just famous for being in those hot pictures.
That's Dan. Just trying to get this shit to fucking focus.
I can't.
What
even,
is wrong with
I
this?
can't even tell what that is.
It's an upshot of Dan.
Oh, okay. Of man boobs. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's him.
He looks like, who's that wrestler that has a hat like that? I can't remember. I'm not a wrestling fan, but I just remember there was a wrestler that had, not Ric Flair. He had that blonde mullet. Speaking of mullets, man, we were at fucking Remember we were at Barbarella last Saturday, and Saturday at Barbarella, if you didn't know, is 80s night. And they were playing a lot of Duran Duran, and they played like Wild Boys like early on in the evening, and that was pretty cool. But he said that the videos going on the thing, and Tom's like, shit, I forgot, like Simon Le Bon having a fucking mullet back then.
Yeah.
Although I will argue that in the Wild Boys video, which came out in 1985, Simon's hair was not really a mullet. John Taylor's hair, on the other hand, that was a mullet, big time. But mullets back in the 80s were not rednecky yet, I guess.
No, they were still new wave.
They were still kind of new wave. Like, it was still kind of... John Gorris says, Sunny D. Yeah.
Victor said he looked like Randy Savage.
That's what I was thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah.
He always knows what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of his name. I just thought of Ric Flair because Ric Flair apparently just put out an energy drink. And the energy drink is called Woo!
Yeah.
That's the name of it.
Dave Victor, would you let him rough you up? I'll hook you up with it. Make a whole video with you. If you meet up
How much does it pay? I'm not a boy, so I can't.
If you meet up with his standards, I don't know how much he pays him. In the videos, they're paying him, but I don't know if that's probably not true.
Well, yeah,
they're probably paying him with his own money.
Right. I'm assuming that's what happened.
It's just part of this. Nothing in these videos is real. Everything's the setup, and it's all part of a mind fuck.
I did a video that I had up for sale where I was pretending that because you actually were out that night. You were at bike night. And I said, I'm going to do a video because we've been talking about it earlier.
You were cheating on me.
Where I was like talking to somebody that I've been like cheating on him with. Which, like I said, obviously I didn't really.
She cheats on me with you.
Yeah. Like I said, I obviously didn't really do that, but it was just kind of like funny.
I told her to do it.
Yeah. Because he's like,
that'd be a good one.
He's like, that's kind of hot. You should.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. and then I go.
So I had to like pretend I was talking to like some random person.
And I said, I'm gonna do a solo scene of me fucking jerking it to that.
You still haven't done that.
I haven't done it though.
You still haven't done it.
It was good. It was a good video.
I wanted to be meta. Yeah.
That's on StreamMate, I think, isn't it?
No, it's on. Oh yeah, it is. It's on, and it's on Manyvids too.
Yeah.
I think. Is it? Yeah. Tammy says, I think Tom should get pegged.
Man, y'all gonna have to fucking put a whole bunch of money together.
Someone's gonna do it.
She was fucking me the other day, you know. Oh, I placed that order. So what order? Fit strap on?
I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. I'm just like, you know, trying to keep you nervous.
This is just the universal fantasy that these fucking degenerate women have, is that to try to deflower these fucking virgin men. Trying to fucking...
It's just, the more uncomfortable it makes you, the funnier it is. To me. You know what I'm like.
We're gonna have to fucking do a scene where you go Amazon on me.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's where you fucking grab me by the ankles and fucking twist them behind my head and fucking get up on top of my dick and just ride the shit out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the Amazon position.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dominant female.
That's fun, actually.
But that's not pegging.
No, it's not. It's
yeah.
similar. Like, it's a similar spirit.
Kind of the concept is similar, but
the concept is similar.
You're putting the women in the dominant position.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
like that.
Yeah. You can do reverse Amazon, flip around backwards. Give me the look back. I got the camera and everything.
Yeah, we'll have to do one like that.
Jen's flexible. You can grab her by the leg, put her legs behind her head and shit.
Well, I used to do, when I was a kid, I used to do ballet and...
Yeah.
What do you call it? Yeah. I had a whole like 4-thing class. I did.
She's 50 years old. So you can still bend her up into a pretzel.
Yeah, I can. But I can actually put my feet back and like hook my feet into the headboard.
The headboard, yeah. Got her feet hung up in the headboard behind her. I'm talking shit to her. It's fucking fun.
Yeah, I used to be. I haven't done it in a while, but I used to be able to do splits and back bends and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I could probably still do it if I limbered up first.
Well, DECA is real good for your joints. I showed you the medical details on that. It's real good to rebuild joints, fucking pain relief for joints, tendons. It's good for all that.
Let's see. Zach says, I really like lean Nordic dudes. And you all know my major favorite. I'm also crushing major heart of my Norwegian buddy Henrik, even though he has a girlfriend and 2 kids. Well, what are you going to do? Victor says, I like 20-year-old skinny Mexican dudes that drive Mustangs or trucks. See, everybody's got their own thing.
Tammy's wanting to pop up on our StreamMate. No, come join us up on StreamMate. Man.
That would be awesome.
Go exclusive and turn the camera on. We'll have a threesome.
We can't stream as often as we would like to because, because I'm still working full time. And so, like, usually by the time I get home, I'm like, oh, God, I'm too tired. You know what I mean? But so sometimes we'll do it on weekends. Like, this past week, we actually did on Monday morning because I was off on Monday. And that was really busy.
You just got to get back into that independent mindset like you used to have.
Yeah.
Before it's comforting to know that you have a certain amount of money coming every week. But we can beat that.
That's what I mean. Like, the more after I figured out mathematically that really technically you would only need 48 paid minutes a day, to match what I was making.
Yeah, and we were getting 15 minutes an hour.
And the thing about it is that my job is far away. Like, it's a long commute. I spend $300 a month in gas just going back and forth there.
Bill says the way it goes, though, is that you make 70 or 60 or 70 one day, the next day you make 300. And then fucking it goes back, and then, like, you might go a day with, only making 80 or 90, and then the next day you make 150. So there is an average to it, but he just says just for no reason at all, you'll have these windfalls where you'll make like 300 or 400 in a day. I think he said the biggest they ever made, was 900 in a day.
See, that kind of stuff made me feel better. And and that day, like Monday when we were on in the morning, and we were only on for like an hour and 15 minutes, and we like immediately like made $45 or something like that. And I was just like, okay, well, I feel better now because and we would have stayed on longer, but we had plans. Like we were going out, and so like we couldn't.
He just everything he's told me so far has been proven to be accurate. He says just the key is treating it like a job and just getting hours in. Just get and he says it has to be 30-ish hours a week. That's it.
Which is fine.
30-ish. Yeah.
Like I said, I work 40 hours a week at my job plus another 10 hours in commute time because it's an hour each way, and that's 2 hours a day. So
it's better we'll be our own bosses. We'll work 2 on, 2 off, 1 on, 1 off. You know what I mean?
I'm much better at like running my own shit.
Yeah, depending on how the flow of traffic is going.
Well, I told you it's like I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless something crazy happens, I think I'm gonna put my notice in at the end of next week and then work out the rest of the month and then.
Yeah.
And then.
How much I bet they won't want you to go?
Well, I don't. It doesn't matter, does it? So what? They can't tie me to the fucking chair. Well, I mean, I guess they could, but.
Maybe they'll give you a part-time option to do some contracting for them.
I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. Like I said, I still have a bunch of freelance clients that I do, so
right.
And we still do the show and everything.
We just focus on StreamMate. We'd make money.
Yeah. Tammy said I'll have to start saving up my money for a private pegging show.
Oh man, you bitches.
I mean, if you paid to go exclusive, Tom would probably feel better because then he would like feel like that nobody else could see it. Although if we got that, I would record that.
These
shit.
Girls are fucking fantasizing. These girls are fantasizing. I mean, to get me to do some shit like that, we're gonna talk about motorcycle money. I mean, we're talking about like.
Yeah, if somebody buys Tom a motorcycle, like he'll think about it.
I mean, I'll start thinking about it. You start talking about something like a motorcycle, but no, fuck no.
Oh, Zach is talking about.
I'm gonna have a whole support team and shit, fucking get me ready and everything, Like I'm gonna get Zach and all his gay friends to come over here and fucking prep me up. Keep rubbing it. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
There's a first time for everything. All kind of shit. They give me the virgin talks and shit. That'd be fucking hilarious.
It would be fucking.
I'd fucking videotape the whole thing, make a fucking pay-per-view or something out of it.
Tammy said, "Don't worry, Jenny. I will record it also." I'm just very excited about this.
Women.
I know, we're the worst. Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it was that we were in the room the other day, and somebody came in and just said pegging, and I was like, this must be somebody from the show. Or maybe not. Maybe it was just like some rando that was.
We busted up laughing as soon as the dude said.
Yeah, because I was like, "Are you from our other show?" Because I just thought that was funny. They just walked in and said that.
Yeah. Yes, it was Victor.
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Zach's talking about how also had a crush on Morton Harkett from Aha. Yeah, he was pretty hot back in the day. He wasn't my main dude. Like I said, I was real into Simon Le Bon from Duran Duran, and Martin Gore from Depeche Mode, and who else? What's his name? Shit, I just had it. I also really liked Richard Butler from Psychedelic Furs. He's gay too, but I didn't know that at the time. Allison, I don't know why, but I suddenly feel the need for a bathroom break. Sorry, we always this show, I don't know, man. We always end up talking about one of 3 topics or all 3 topics. It's usually like food, cats, or porn. That's pretty much what we end up talking. And we've been talking about porn a lot more lately since we started doing Streammate like a while back. So we always have like funny stories about that, but that's just what happens. We're just like talking about our life, and that's what our life is now. So it's just kind of like, that's okay. Got a new Shein shipment in today also. Got like some, I'm just gonna say like some regular clothes, but you know, some cool tops and stuff like that. Also got some what Tom now calls work clothes, which are just kind of like slutty, like net kind of body stockings and shit like that I can wear on the show. Because you have to, we're still trying to like refine what the best outfits are for the show, like for easy access, you know what I mean? Because you're just kind of like, well, you have to be able to pop your tits out, but you have to like be able to sit in it comfortably without anybody seeing anything, because like I said, you're technically not supposed to show anything like in public. You can show your boobs, you can do that, but you can't you're not supposed to show anything. But people do, though. I don't think they'll do anything to you if nobody reports it. And I don't think people are reporting it because they're like, hey, we're getting a free show. Like, why would anybody complain? But I don't know. But I'm just thinking, well, like I said, I'm on here to make money, so I'm not giving away, like, free shit. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody gives me a tip, because you can do that, too. Like, you can send, like, $5 or something like that. I was like, yeah, I'll flash my tits at you for, 30 seconds or whatever, but
I am totally out of cologne.
Oh shit! We meant to go to the we meant to go to CVS and get some more because I needed some more too.
Yeah, we could stop there on the way. I think. Now CVS is probably closed by 9, wouldn't it?
I think they close at 10, but I'm not real sure.
It's on the way.
It is, but like I said, I'm not sure what time it closes around here. I'm imagining 10, but it could be 9. I don't know.
It's almost 9 now.
I know. You're fine. We're fine. I was just laughing because Allison said, "Be right back." She needed a bathroom break because of all the shit we were talking about. Let's see. And Zach is still crushing on Robin Gibb because he's on this whole Bee Gees thing.
Yeah.
His sad eyebrows and long hair. Aw. John Gora said, the Psychedelic Furs never got enough credit. They were really good. Yeah, I still listen to them all the time. They were really one of the first bands I really, really got into.
They were good, but they kind of went a little too pop. I remember.
Well, in the late 80s, they kind of started to go a little bit more mainstream. I mean, honestly, I was really into... I had their first 3 albums, I think. I had Talk, Talk, Talk and Forever Now were my favorite ones.
Yeah, Forever Now, that had President Gas on it. I think.
Yeah. That's a great fucking song.
Yeah.
We saw them live. Actually, I've seen them live several times. Probably 3 or 4 times. But we saw them live together.
Yeah, we saw them at a hotel.
It was at Hard Rock Live.
Hard Rock Hotel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw them there, and they were really good. The cool thing about them, and every time I've seen them, because like I said, I've seen them 3 times, maybe 4 times. Every single time I've seen them, they always look like they're having the best fucking time. They just always look like they're really enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I don't know what that dude's on. I don't know what Butler's on, but he's all over the fucking place. I mean, he dances about like Mick Jagger. It's like watching Mick Jagger.
He does, yeah.
He's just all over the fucking place.
But they always just look like they're having a really... Yeah. They always seem really happy. Like they're just like having a fucking blast. You know what I mean? It's like, it's pretty awesome. Paul Flint says, first time here, I'm traumatized. LOL.
Well, he's traumatized. First time here? You've heard.
See, I thought before, like, well, because like I said, I hadn't like seen your name in the chat before. Like I'm sure you probably like listened to the show before, but this might be the first time you've been in the chat. So, because I told him, I said inevitably, our sidetrack shows, and actually our regular shows too, even though we try not to, but we usually end up talking about either food or cats or porn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of
I
our...
was giving dating advice, though.
Kind of our... Oh, and dating advice.
Dating
yeah,
advice,
we do that
yeah.
too. We do that too.
Trying to whip these young guys into shape. They suck now. They suck.
Well...
But I understand. It's not everywhere. Here in Florida, people are normal. You know, they're kind of like they always were. I mean, you still see dudes... I see high school dudes come into Starbucks all the time with hot girlfriends. They're all in high school, and dudes are fucking... They're ripped, you know. Physical looking. And real attractive teenage girls from high school and stuff that are into sports and everything. So they have all that still, you know. Which that's traditional American lifestyles. They have it. But they have everything else too. But it's just... They're calling what's happening, mostly, they really say it's bad in the UK. They call it the crisis of masculinity. That the young men of today, Gen Z mostly, they don't have any role in life. Well, shit, we were all kind of like that when you're in your fucking teens and 20s. You don't really have a role yet. You're too young. But they say a lot of these guys, you know, they're overweight, or just totally demoralized, never had a girlfriend, just play video games, that's it, and just retreating. They're becoming Japanese otaku, basically. Don't want girlfriends, don't even want a car. You know, that's just unheardable. These bitches need to snap out of that. You have to get competent real quick, or you'll die. You know, one way or the other, you'll die. You'll kill yourself, drink yourself to death, get involved in something too early and you don't have the strength to fight it and it kills you. There's all kinds of shit that could happen to you. It's always better to be strong than to be weak. It's just, this is the law of nature. And men are already disposable. It doesn't matter if you die, really, as a man.
Well, everyone's kind of disposable.
Yeah, everyone is, but men are even more so disposable.
Well, yeah.
They die and it doesn't matter. They're just replaced with another one.
Well, they're not the ones like birthing children.
Yeah, so. They're just not as important, really, to the species. They were always more expendable. And there was always hypergamy. It was always the top 20, 30% of the guys getting all the women. But that's in the breeding population, not in the non... You know, you get too old, you're just not doing it. It's just not in you. But when it comes to the young people, yeah, it was always the top 20. Top 20, top 30. It's just that dating apps and social media has magnified the problem. And then these dudes are getting beaten down because they believe what women say. All right, which I've gotten into that. Don't ever believe what a woman says. When she comes at you with, well, you got to be 6 feet tall at least, and at least make 6 figures, and at least have a six-pack, the 666. No. That same girl that said that, you see her 2 months later, and she's with a 5'7" dude who's chubby and who fucking works at Walmart, and she's loving him. Okay. Don't believe what women say. They're just throwing things out there.
Well, and sometimes too, let me stop you right there. Yeah. Because sometimes too, women will tell you that because they don't want to go out with you specifically for whatever reason, but they don't really want to tell you that to your face because it would be mean. So they always come up with some other kind of reason because they're trying to like let you down easy.
Yeah. And women do not make sense. So
yeah, we do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, not from the man's point of view. I'll tell you something that this is true. I'm not going to name any names, but a woman told me this, that she used to do this. If there was a guy she really liked and he approached her, she would shut him down and raise her standards and make it tougher for him so he would have to prove his love for her, basically. Well,
she wanted to see if he was interested enough to...
Right.
Yeah,
is he interested enough to actually
I don't do
go
that,
through all
but I
this
get
shit?
it. But I know some people
do that.
Do.
Now, that same girl would be in a club the week before and see a dude who's, I don't really want to go out with this dude, but I'm going to fuck this dude just tonight. And then she goes and fucks that dude. So she lowered her standards for that guy that she didn't like, but raised her standards for the guys that she did like. So now he's going out with her. Oh, I got her, man. I had to go through, she had to jump through all these hoops. Boy, she's real prestigious. And he says that to his buddy. He goes, "Oh, who, her? Oh, I fucked her last week." You know what I mean? He's a slob, you know, and he's not lying. And he's like, "What?" And then that guy feels like he's been hoodwinked, you know. And you're like,
yeah,
she
but
raised
dudes
her
do that.
standards for
But
me
dudes do
and
that to
lowered-"
women all the time.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they
Guys
do.
are about the same. If she's hot, he's up for it. Guys demand very little. Standards on men are low. We were designed to have low standards. That's why all this damn hoflation is happening. These guys he's a 7 and he's going out with a 4 because she says she's a 10. It's called hoflation. These women have inflated their own. No. Guys don't do that. Guys will basically go out with whoever they think is hot. And they don't care if they have money or not, or anything. They're not really gold diggers. It's just they like her, and is she hot? Or is she hot enough? You know what I mean? She doesn't have to be an 8 or a 9. She just has to be hot enough for him.
Paul Flint says, nothing better than tits, as my grandma used to say. Then she got them out.
Damn. Dude, you should have got
Says,
that.
still see my grandma's tits in my nightmares.
Damn. She really did that?
That's fucking hilarious.
She really did that?
No, I bet not.
He didn't do that. She did.
It's called the joke, Tom.
Yeah.
Zach says, oh, looks like Ari Aster and Joaquin Phoenix were just spotted scouting locations for their new movie in New Mexico. That's awesome. Isn't Ari Aster doing the Nosferatu remake? Or am I remembering that wrong? Actually, tomorrow I think we're going to go see Last Voyage of the Demeter. So I'm like very excited about that. Tammy said Tom isn't even drunk enough for wigs yet. That's when the shows get good.
No wigs today. I'm serious.
Well, because we have to go soon.
So
he can't get like super drunk.
Yeah.
Paul Flynn said my standards are too high.
Yeah.
Allison had to go. Hopefully she's not gone already. But yeah, she said I'm on my way out. Have fun. I'll be back for another stream. Bye, Tom and Jenny. Bye, Allison. Hopefully you had a good time. But yeah, we're playing to Paul Flint because this is his first time in the stream, so he's like a stream virgin.
But he's been listening to the show though.
Well, yeah. So it's like he shouldn't be surprised at any of the other kind of stuff. John Gore said I've seen some damn good-looking guys. No homo. That's because you have to have that. Yeah. With some really meh or even seriously subpar.
Yeah. Yeah. Hoflation.
Well, like I said, you see some kind of like. I don't know. You see some kind of like hot chicks with some not so good looking dudes.
Yeah, those dudes always have something up their sleeve: money, status, sense of humor. It's a bunch of shit happening. See,
well,
this is the thing. Okay, well, hold on, stop.
Oh,
I'm talking to these men here.
I don't get to talk.
Hold on. I want to know because I'll forget. I'll forget.
Tom's got a rant.
Yeah, he's got a rant. Women will tell you. They you know. I forgot where I was going with this shit. She's laughing. Where was it? Zach says the Nosferatu remake is the guy who did The Witch. Ari's new movie is apparently a dark comedy noir set in a mining town during the pandemic. I'm trying to remember what I was talking about.
Why'd you stop ranting?
Huh?
Why'd you stop ranting?
Oh, I'm waiting for you to come back.
Why? So you can rant and not.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. What a shame.
I told you, so I had to say it right then or I'd forget.
Well, you did.
And then,
I left.
and then you kept talking and I forgot.
I didn't keep talking. I left.
Yeah, you kept making fun of me and then I forgot.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sure it
All right.
wasn't anything all that important.
No, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It's part of this. Don't tell me what's important. It was,
That's what you tell me every time you interrupt me and I forgot what I was saying. You're like, it wasn't that important anyway. It's like, yeah, it probably wasn't that important.
Something about.
Oh, Nosferatu remake is the guy who did The Witch. That's right, Robert Eggers. That's right. For some reason I always get the two of them confused. I don't know why. Is the new film Children of the Corn good? What? They made a new Children of the Corn?
No, they need to get rid of all the Children of the Corn. Only the first one was any good.
I mean, the first one is kind of like so bad it's good.
Yeah, it was not that good.
It's super cheesy.
Yeah.
And I can't even believe that spawned a franchise, honestly. And I'm gonna say that I think Because I really like the short story that it's based on, but the movie, they changed a lot. And I kind of think that if they were going to remake it, they should make it closer to the short story. I don't know what the fuck they did in the sequels, because I can't imagine. I mean, I guess there's some lore there that you could explore, like the whole, He Who Walks Behind the Rose kind of, all the mythology behind that. Like, maybe they explored that more, but it's like, I was just kind of like, eh. I still do like the first one from 1984 just because of nostalgia. It's kind of terrible, though.
That's bad.
It's not the worst Stephen King adaptation, but...
It's better than fucking Rawhead Rex.
Well, and that was Clive Barker.
I'm just saying it's better than that movie.
It's better than...
I put it up there.
Talking about Stephen King adaptations, it's better than Sleepwalkers. Yeah. It's better than The Langoliers. It's better than Dreamcatcher. So
I put Children.
It's better than the Shining TV series.
I liked the Chinese.
I know you did, but I did not like it.
I liked it. It was closer to the book.
That's why I didn't
like it. It just didn't look that good. It was.
I didn't like it.
Although I bet you that you could remaster that and release it. It would probably look a lot better.
I don't know.
That's the way the book was.
I know, but like I said, and I've talked about this before, the thing that Kubrick understood about making The Shining the definitive movie in 1980 and why that's still a classic and why people are still talking about it is because that he knew that a book and a movie are two different things. And sometimes you have to change shit up.
It's the same story pretty much, though.
Yeah, he didn't change that much.
He just did it from what Wendy would have seen.
He cut out all the exposition.
Yeah.
In a book, you can get away with exposition.
Yeah.
In a movie, not so much.
All the exposition's gone. All the other viewpoints, like you don't see what Jack's viewpoint was.
Yeah.
You don't see what the ghosts, what their viewpoints were. Of what was going on.
And
it was just Wendy.
What
would the haunting? What would that event? What would it have looked like? Fuck man, I can't talk. What would it have looked like if you were just Wendy? And that's the story you got when in the Kubrick film.
Yeah.
Just Wendy's point of view.
Well, like I said, it worked a lot better because you were in the same position as they were. You were seeing things as you would see it if you were staying in that hotel and you didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Because Wendy didn't know about the ghosts.
Right.
She didn't know about all this shit. It wasn't until the end that she started seeing
And I liked that the ghosts in Stanley Kubrick's version just looked like people. Whereas, like, in the TV series, the one that Stephen King wrote, like he did the teleplay, and I think Mick Garris directed it. But that one, like, the ghosts looked like ghosts. They had like monster makeup on and shit like that, and I'm just like, that's just dumb. It just looks dumb.
They overdid it.
It's much scarier when it's. I mean, Lloyd, that's fucking scary. He just looked like a dude. He didn't look like a ghost. He didn't have monster makeup on. He just looked like a dude. But you knew that there was something off about it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Tammy says, movie on Amazon Prime, Chained, starring Vincent D'Onofrio as a serial killer. Ooh, I think I saw that. He said a slow burn, but the end is worth the wait. I'm pretty sure that I've seen that, but I'm going to have to rewatch it, like, to see if I remember. Paul Flint said I like Needful Things. I did. You know what? We did a review of that not too long ago because I hadn't seen it in such a long time. I read the book a long time ago, too. And I actually, it's not a great movie, but it is like a pretty entertaining adaptation. I have like a weird fascination with like Stephen King adaptations. Like a really weird fascination. And somebody mentioned like Storm of the Century, and I just rewatched that like recently too, and I did like I did a video for it over on my other channel and like wrote a big long thing about it. I actually ended up liking that a lot more than I thought I would. I would like to eventually go back and rewatch Rose Red because I remember really liking that, like because it was kind of like his take on Haunting of Hill House, the Shirley Jackson novel. And I remember it being really good, but I haven't seen it since it originally aired on TV. Which, when the fuck was that? 2002? Something like that. I remember it was when I lived in Tampa, and that was in the early 2000s. That's when I saw it.
I'd almost start considering shutting down the show.
Well, we will in a little bit.
Okay.
Like I said, we don't actually have to leave until 9:30, so we're fine.
Yeah, but didn't you want to go to the store?
Yeah, but we got a few more minutes. Just let me just chill out and let me
All right.
Let me drink. Paul Flynn said I really liked Nosferatu. I started watching that. I still haven't read the book yet, and I know that's not Stephen King. That's Joe Hill. But and I really liked it, but for some reason I didn't finish it, so I'll get around to it. But I did read some of Joe Hill's other stuff. I read Horns. That was really good, and the movie was actually pretty good too with Daniel Radcliffe. And Heart-Shaped Box was also good. Speaking of which, I think Oracle left. But I think it was Oracle that recommended the T. Kingfisher novel, A House with Good Bones. And I wanted to tell her that I had bought it. Like, I bought it last week, and I started reading it today. And so far, it's, like, really, really good. I'm going to review it, but it probably won't be till next week. Because I actually ended up reading another novel this past week. The Last House on Needless Street. So I might do a review of that. But I have, like, another movie review to do first. There's, like, some other videos I have to do first. John Goris said Needful Things reboot would have to work eBay and Etsy into it. Unless you set it back. I kind of feel like a lot of horror movies now are just going to, like, fuck it. We're just going to set it in the 80s or the 90s. Like, this makes this shit a lot easier. Like, for the past couple of days, I've been listening to somebody, I can't remember the name of the channel, but somebody made, like, a 3.5 hour documentary. It's on YouTube about analog horror. And it's really good. Like, it's really comprehensive. Like, I didn't know, like, a huge amount about it, but I am kind of, like, a fan of that subgenre. So I've been listening to it. And he was actually, and that kind of reminded me that a lot of horror nowadays, so much of it is, like, set back in the 80s and 90s. And I think some of that is just because of the proliferation of analog horror, how many people are, like even people that weren't born at the time, but are really, like, nostalgic for 70s, 80s, or, like, old media that they didn't experience firsthand. So I think it's that, but I also think, like, as a horror writer, it's much easier to write something that was set before cell phones and the internet, because it makes shit a lot more mysterious, and it makes shit a lot more difficult, because you can't just, you know, it's a lot scarier if you're in a horror movie where it's like, oh my god, I'm, like, my car broke down in the middle of nowhere. It's like, now you're just like, oh, I have a cell phone, I'll just, like, fucking call AAA and I'm fine. You know, back in the old days, you couldn't do that. You were kind of fucked. So I think that's kind of why a lot of ones are set back then, too.
In the past, people have asked me about video games. I bought a new video game the other day that I could recommend so far. I think it's a Japanese game based on the gameplay so far and certain things that I've seen. I think it's made in Japan. It's called Stray. I got it off of Xbox One. You can download it. And in this game, Stray, you play as a cat. It's pretty good. You're a cat in a post-apocalyptic world, and you get separated from your friends, your other cat friends. You fall down a hole, and you end up in basically like a subterranean underground city, and it's abandoned. And then you got to figure out how to get out of this city and get back to your other cats. And so far, I found out that all the people are dead, but there's robots in there, AI robots, that they're alive, and they've kind of taken people's places. They're silly though, but it's fun. It's a fun game. So it's called Stray.
It looks cool.
Yeah, the graphics are real good.
Yeah, Paul says Stray is ace.
Yeah, he's played it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had heard of it before, and I'm not, like, a huge video game connoisseur, so
Yeah.
the fact that I had heard of it means it must have proliferated. Like,
it's a puzzle game, running, jumping, trying to figure out puzzles and stuff. Not really puzzles, but just trying to solve things. And it's got good graphics, and I like the tone of the game. It's kind of relaxing, but it's still kind of, there's adventure to it. It's kind of chills you out.
See, that's the thing. I think if I had time to play video games, which I don't, but I think I would prefer more stuff that was, like, chill like that.
Yeah.
Because
good
stuff,
music playing.
well, stuff that has just, like, monsters running at your face, like, I'm stressed out enough as it is. I don't need, like, stress added onto it. Like, that would probably just give me anxiety.
Hey, they're also offering for $10 the remastered Quake 2 from the 90s. I'm going to go back and get that, too. Haven't played Quake in a long time.
Yeah, because you have that.
I got all the Dooms.
Yeah, well, and you have that package, too, that has, like, all those old arcade games, too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I got the Williams arcade. I got all kinds of stuff. I got all the Sega Genesis games. Those aren't even really fun to play anymore, though.
I used to like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic's the best ones. Yeah.
I used to play that. But mostly, like I said, the last time I was super into video games was like when we had Legend of Zelda and Metroid.
Yeah.
And that was like old Nintendo.
Old school shit.
Because
Mega Man.
Because I'm old.
They got a million Mega Man platform games.
And like, Tetris and shit. That was like... Paul says I love Mafia games. They're great. Yeah, I was like... Somebody talked about the movie Hero also. I kind of remember that one with Dustin Hoffman. Holy crap.
Yeah, she's going to the bathroom.
Did you guys hear that? She's in the, that's the new kitty.
Yeah.
Dakota. She's in the litter box and she just like makes as much noise as possible.
Yeah.
I have the kind of litter box. We have a litter box for Pookie also. But this one has like, big, what do you call it? Big pellets in it because I was trying that out. And she seems to like that. Pookie didn't like it. She was just kind of like, what is this? I can't poop in this. So she wouldn't use it. So we have another one that's more regular litter. But I do still have the pellet one. And Dakota seems to like that one, though. But, man, she gets in there and she just makes all kind of noise. But I was just kind of like, all right. But she seems to enjoy it, so. Let's see. John Gora said, just saw Barbarian Sound Studio. It was okay. Bit much on the artistic flair. Should have been more smoking in it, though, considering it's an Italian movie studio in the 70s. Yeah. Yeah, I actually really like that movie. I like all those kind of, like, Giallo homages and, like, Giallo adjacent kind of movies. Like, Barbarian Sound Studio, it wasn't exactly a Giallo movie, like, not in the way that it was plotted or anything, but the way that it, like, the look of it was kind of like a Giallo. And it was about a Giallo movie, so it was kind of like about like he was doing the sound for it. But I don't know, I really liked it. But I think like the more recent ones that I've seen that were more Giallo-esque that I was really into were Francesca, which I think came out in 2015, and that was like very much like an old Giallo movie, like from the 1970s. They tried like deliberately to make it look like that. There was also one called that I think came out in 2017 maybe, that it was called The Strange Color of Your Body's Tears. And that one wasn't trying to look like an old Giallo film, but it was very much like a modern updated Giallo film, but that thing was like inscrutable. I thought it was cool though, like visually it was really cool, but I had no fucking idea what was going on most of the time.
Put my other shirt on.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, it's shiny. Yeah. Also, if you haven't seen it, I don't know, and I hesitate to recommend things to people because I don't want people to get mad at me, and it's like I don't really know people's very specific tastes, because I have like really weird like idiosyncratic tastes in horror movies. But one movie that I saw quite recently that I really dug was In Fabric, and it's kind of like, I wouldn't call it a Giallo movie, it's not, but it's it has some Giallo like tendencies to it, but it's more like surrealist. You can say, like, this sounds dismissive, but it's, like, essentially about a haunted dress, or, like, a cursed dress, but not exactly. It's weird. But I was really into it. I thought it was really cool. I think it was British. John Gora said, I like the one Foley artist who doesn't say anything, but is a dead ringer for Fulci. Holy shit, like, on Shudder, there is a documentary about Lucio Fulci called Fulci for Fake, which I still haven't watched yet, even though it has like 5 skulls, which is like the big thing. Oh, I should mention too, and we haven't even done a review of this yet, I think somebody recommended a long time ago that Tom watch the movie, what is it called? Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell? Yeah. And that was on Shudder.
Yeah, I loved it.
And we watched it the other day.
Yeah.
It's Japanese, and it's from the 90s, and it's like really super low budget. It's like, it looks like it's like 4:3 aspect ratio, and you can tell that they were trying to make an Evil Dead. Yeah. I think it's even called the Japanese Evil Dead.
Yeah, Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder from Hell.
In
right?
Hell.
In Hell.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese Evil Dead.
Essentially, I mean, it's pretty much ripping, but it knows that it's ripping it off.
Yeah, it's homaging it and shit.
I mean, he basically like looks at the camera and is like groovy, you know what I mean? Like so they're doing it, but it's okay, it's fine. I'll allow it. It was actually really fun. It started out kind of slow. It's only like an hour long, but it started out kind of slow. But then it got crazier and crazier, like, toward the end. And honestly, like, as cheap as that movie looked, it looked like it cost about $1.98, but the gore effects were actually quite good. And it had some stop-motion animation, just like The Evil Dead did, which I thought was kind of neat.
It's just a well-crafted, cheap movie. It's what you expect when you see it.
We had a good time with it.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't think we ever did a review on it, but we did watch it the other night, and I had a good time with it.
All right, look, I think we should go.
Yeah, okay. I guess we better go.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Lars says, what is the real story behind Giallo and J&B whiskey? Was it product placement or something else? I always kind of wondered about that, too, because it's kind of like a trope. You always see a bottle of J&B whiskey. I don't know if it was just because that was a brand that was popular at the time, or they just liked that the label was yellow, and it was like... went with the color scheme. I don't really know, or if it was just around, but it does seem like it was a thing, doesn't it? All right, so I guess we better go because we gotta go out this evening. So, sorry we had to cut it a little bit short. Normally, if we were staying home, we'd just go on for 4 or 5 hours, just like sit here and get like super plastered. But yeah, we can't do that tonight because we're going out. So we will be back on Monday. Hopefully, we'll be talking about. On Monday night stream, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, because I think we're going to go see it tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't read any reviews, but it looks like everybody's kind of, like, pretty happy about it. So I'm hoping it's, like, the trailer looked kick-ass. So I'm excited about seeing it. So I think we're going to go see it tomorrow. So we'll talk about that on Monday. So as always, thank you guys for hanging out with us on this Friday evening. And we'll see you guys again on Monday night.